Chapter 1: The Little Village and the Poor Boy. In a small village nestled between rolling green hills and a sparkling river, there lived a boy named Arav. The village was simple, with mud houses, narrow dirt roads, and people who worked hard to earn a living. Life was peaceful, but not easy. Arav and his mother lived in a tiny hut on the edge of the village. His father had passed away when he was very young, leaving his mother to work as a tailor to support them. Despite their struggles, Arav was full of dreams. He loved learning and wished to study as much as he could. However, school supplies and books were expensive, and his mother could barely afford his school fees. But Arav never complained. He helped his mother with her work, fetched water from the well, and still made time to study under the dim lantern light at night. Every morning, he walked miles to reach the village school. Some of the richer children would tease him for his torn clothes and worn-out slippers. But Arav never let their words discourage him. He was determined to learn, no matter the difficulties. One day, his teacher, Mr. Ramesh, noticed how hard Arav worked. "You are a bright student, Arav," he said kindly. "Keep studying, and one day you will achieve great things." Those words ignited a fire in Arav's heart. He promised himself that he would study hard and change his fate. Chapter 2: Arav's Struggles and Dreams. Though Arav loved school, he often worried about money. His mother's earnings were barely enough to buy food, let alone new books or supplies. Seeing his mother work tirelessly, Arav decided he had to do something to help. One day, as he sat under a tree reading an old book, a younger boy from the village, Rohan, approached him. "Arav Paya, I don't understand my lessons. Can you teach me?" Arav smiled and nodded. He patiently explained the lessons to Rohan, who quickly understood. The next day, Rohan's mother came to Arav and handed him a few coins. "You taught my son well," she said. "Would you teach him every evening? I will pay you." This gave Arav an idea. If he could teach other children in the village, he could earn a little money for his school supplies. Excited, he spread the word, and soon, several children gathered under the old banyan tree to learn from him. He charged them a small fee, just enough to buy second-hand books and notebooks for himself. Chapter 3: Arav's Small Business Idea. As more children joined his evening classes, Arav's confidence grew. He realized that teaching was not only helping him earn money, but also improving his own knowledge. He spent hours preparing lessons and reading ahead so he could explain concepts better. His mother was proud of him. "You are not just earning for yourself, Arav," she said one evening. "You are helping other children learn too." One day, while walking home from school, Arav saw an elderly farmer selling vegetable seeds. He thought of another idea. "If I grow my own vegetables, we won't have to buy them from the market." Using a small patch of land behind their hut, Arav started planting tomatoes, spinach, and potatoes. He worked hard, watering them every morning and removing weeds after school. His mother guided him, and soon, tiny green shoots emerged from the soil. The sight filled Arav with joy. He realized that, just like education, hard work in farming also bore fruit, quite literally. Chapter 4: Teaching and Learning. Together. With his small earnings, Arav bought a few books he had always wanted. He continued teaching the village children, and their parents noticed a big improvement in their studies. Soon, even parents who had once ignored education began sending their kids to Arav's classes. One day, his teacher, Mr. Ramesh, visited his classes. He was amazed. "Arav, you are not just a student anymore," he said. "You are a teacher too." Hearing those words, Arav felt a deep sense of pride. He realized that education had the power to change lives, and he wanted to do more. Chapter 5. Overcoming Challenges. Just when everything seemed to be going well, trouble struck. A heavy storm hit the village, destroying Arav's small garden. The plants he had nurtured with so much effort were gone. He was heartbroken. To make things worse, a wealthier villager opened a bigger tuition center, and some of Arav's students left. For the first time, he felt defeated, but his mother encouraged him. "Failures come to test our strength," she said. "Do not give up." Taking her words to heart, Arav replanted his garden, this time with even more determination. He also found new ways to make his teaching more engaging. Slowly, his students returned, and his efforts bore fruit once again. Chapter 6. A Special Opportunity. One day, Mr. Ramesh informed Arav about a scholarship exam for bright students. "If you pass, you can study in a better school for free," he explained. Arav knew this was his chance. He studied harder than ever, staying up late and reading borrowed books. He practiced math problems under the dim light of his lantern and revised every subject carefully. The exam day arrived, and Arav gave it his best effort. Days passed in anxious waiting. Chapter 7. The Results and a Life-Changing Moment. One morning, the school announced the results. Arav had won the scholarship. His joy knew no bounds. The village celebrated his success, and even the children who once teased him now admired him. But Arav had made a promise to himself. He would return to help his village children get an education. Chapter 8. A New Beginning and a Lasting Lesson. Arav moved to the city for his higher studies. Though life there was different, he never forgot his roots. He continued to teach other poor children, just as he had in his village. Years later, Arav returned to his village, no longer as a poor boy, but as a respected teacher. He built a school where every child, rich or poor, could study. As he stood before his students, he smiled. He had once been a boy with nothing but dreams, and now he was proof that hard work, education, and kindness could change lives. The village had once called him the poorest boy. Now they called him the brightest star